Yeah, how's it going, everyone? Boy, do I get some nice ones to work on, to fix up. Okay, this is a project, I'm gonna say. This one you may get in kind of increments of here and there as I'm putting this one together. I'm waiting for parts for my Sinbad. So instead of standing around doing nothing, I already cleaned up and kind of went through some stuff. So now it's looking for something to do. So I guess I'm going to get started on this. Our Bally, and it is Star Trek. Should have already known what year this is, but I'm not. I think this is another 78. But yeah, this one had some pretty bad water damage on the head unit, on the back box. I already got started on it earlier. I may post that video sometime, so you can take a look at what I'm looking at. This one I'll be doing kind of out of sequence and doing it differently, just because there's so much to do. There's the back box over there that I'm working on. I've just been kind of working at this one a little bit at a time, and then it's too cold to be painting or anything, so I had to redo some artwork on the side after I had painted it. I kind of screwed up. There's the panel, the score panel. It's complete. I got everything with it. There's a little box over there with all my displays and that in it that are kind of a little rusty here and there. I had to get all new mounting brackets for the inside. And I still have to mount an aluminum ground plane throughout that whole thing. If you remember these and looked at them, you have that aluminum ground plane that goes all the way around the inside of the back box. In fact, there's still a little bit left over there, but everything's pulled. We won't be going through boards on this one because the boards I pulled out of it were junk. If I'm going this far, I'll post the other video first so you can take a look at it and see what I got into with the back box, and you can see what kind of condition the boards were in. This one I don't know, there was so much mildew and rot. Well, not really rot, but everything was just so moldy. I don't know, it's weird. But our score panel was okay. I painted it, cleaned all the fungus off of it, all the fungus among us. Took the wiring harness off of it so I could clean. I had to take the wiring harness off of the back side of that and put it in a sink and scrub it. That's how much gunk was on the wiring harness. So I can't wait to see what the underside of this Playfield is going to look like. I mean, everything's here. All the plastics are here. They look, decent. A little faded. But no back glass with this. They had a translite made for it, and it's mounted on a piece of glass, and it's sitting over there behind a pile of crap. But this one, it's going to need. This side, would clean up and would be presentable, except I got a lot of wood missing down there where the plywood delaminated. The front, would clean up, but God, it's so faded. This side, I mean, it's faded to almost nothing. You know, this is supposed to be red in through here. That's supposed to be all red. And then we got mud dauber nests on it. A lot of people would have just parted this one out. But, you know, this is pretty iconic of a Bally here. To can't be actually pitching it. You know, this is a hell of a project. This isn't one that's just gonna be set up here and worked through and then, you know, touch it up and rubber it and start playing. This one's a hell of a project. So I may get I'll probably get the Playfield out of it and set it up on rotisserie and work on it as I can, you know, when I'm waiting for parts and stuff like that. And I'll just kind of start doing some updates, and because I'm afraid to see what the bottom side of that Playfield looks like. You know, with everything that you see out here and what the back box was like, I'm afraid the underside of this is going to be a rust bucket, and hopefully not. So let me I'll get the glass off of this, and we'll lift up the Playfield and see if they left us any goodies or just what the underside of the Playfield looks like. We may still end up parting this out if it's that bad, which I don't like parting any of these out. So let's get the Playfield up and take a peek at it and see what it looks like. There's the pinball I took out of it. Isn't that nice? That's still good, huh? Well, it just needs polished up and waxed. It'll be just fine. Now, this doesn't instill confidence when you open it up and there is snakeskin in it. You can see our door. It's rusty. I think my light's about ready to die, but anyway, you can see all the plungers are rusted, every one of them. I don't know about cleaning those up or not. Even the pop bumpers. We got a nasty looking coin box down there. But all of our, some of the lamp sockets look okay, other ones not so good. Flipper plungers are all rusty. You can see where it sat and got wet. Even the bottom or back, whatever. Get that light off. Let's see. Now it's too cold, but every time I hear a noise, I'm looking to see if it's a snake, because me and snakes don't get along. It just looks like a nasty coin box with vermin turds in it. That looks like what's left of the original back glass. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it is. Nice. Well, if he's still in here, he's going to be all curled up, hibernating. And I still don't like snakes. And I see one of the brackets for the leg is off. And it looks like just a lot of rot back in there. You can see the end of the playfield is all discolored. What a mess. What a mess. And I'm not even going to tell you what I paid for this, because everybody will say I'm retarded. But it's a Star Trek. It's a Star Trek. Man, with the Enterprise and a Klingon vessel flying around Uranus. I mean, man, who doesn't want original Star Trek? Here, we'll look at this side. This side's better. There we go. Now, see the Enterprise? Looks like he's shooting at the Klingon vessel flying around Uranus. Alright, now we took a look inside here. I'll put the playfield down, and you can also see where it looks like somebody broke a hole in it, because I can see the lock is all bent. Somebody probably blew a hole in the bottom of it so they could get up in here and get the coin door open. So when we're working on the cabinet, we'll see if we can't do something with making that a little better. About cutting it out and putting in a new piece or something. I don't know. Getting scarier and scarier the more I look at it. But it just going to mean a lot of work. That's all there is to it. We can save it. I hope. Alright, I'll put the playfield down and we'll take a peek at the actual playfield. Well, I was going to put it down and show you the top side, but I figured let's flip this over and get a real good look at it. The worst part I can see on the underside is just the rusted plungers. And I'll have to see if they'll clean up. I mean, that one, God, that's all. I'll be dang. Actually pushed them up. And now see our saucer hole doesn't look too bad. And now we can get a good look at our plunger. See that one? That one's a little rough. But that one doesn't look too awful bad either. Let me get around the other side so we can get a little light on the subject. Yeah, they're a little rusty, but I think those ones will clean up. Plungers are no big deal. I mean, either if we can't polish them up, we'll replace them. That's all there is to it. So that's no big deal. And the other thing that I see that probably have problems with is just lamp sockets. Everything else, switches will be dirty, of course, but we're going to have a lot of cruddy lamp sockets, and we may do something a little different for some of these. I think some of these we can use some yopsicles, which would be ideal for this, especially all of our bonus and all of our lights here. I think the yopsicles, if you're not familiar with a yopsicle, go to Marco and look it up. Yeah, Y-O-P-P-S-I-C-L-E, yopsicle. It's a little flat plate with an LED on it that you take your socket off, unsolder it, take the screw out, and unsolder your wire, and it slides right under here, and the LED is right over the hole, and you solder your comm and you're triggered to it. I mean, they're kind of neat. So I think we may be doing some of those on here. Just kind of running things through my head as we're looking at it as to... I paint that great. The neck needs painted too. But, you know, like I said, it's discolored and a lot of that's coming off. So when I prep this to put it on the rotisserie, we can clean this all up. That'll all clean up. It's the other side that's going to be the fun part. Underside, I don't see any major problems that we're going to have taken care of under here. Get rid of all the spider webs and that. Thank God snake's gone. Get our flippers done. But yeah. Starting to feel a little bit better about it. And the board set, you know, is no big deal. I have the driver board for it. I have a light driver board for it. I got a couple MPUs that we're going to piss with, and if they're not going to be reliable, we'll just order in a Weebly and put a new one in. The only problem I'm having is our sound card. And the sound card, you know, looks decent. Come over here in the light. You know, sound card doesn't look bad. Sound module, solid state sound module, excuse me. You know, I cleaned it up. The only problem I see is rust under that chip, under the first two chips. And the very first one, this one right there, is our actual sound. That's the sound ROM, I guess you would call it, on this. And I'm gonna have to pull it so I can clean the rust, so we don't have them jumping across each other. This one needs, the other ones are no problem. It's the sound, I think it's the sound ROM, or the synthesize, whatever it is. That's the one I haven't been able to find one. So I'm hoping I can save it. The board's a 379. Okay, so maybe the Star Trek is a 79. I really didn't care. I just know that got a lot of work to do on it. So if I can save that, we can save our sound board. And I think the other board I was able to salvage out of the back box was the lamp driver board. It wasn't too bad at all. After I cleaned it all up, it's actually decent, and we can save it. The solenoid driver board, that one we'll have to build one. I have plenty of them, and we'll build a good one. Like I said, this is a -35 MPU that goes in this, and let's see, that's the stern. Stern 200, which would work. But that, if you remember, that one's another one that's not very reliable. We have, I think I have 2 or 3 35s here. This is the one that came out of it. This is the Star Trek one. You can see I went to remove one of the ROMs and all the legs stayed in the stayed in the socket. So I didn't even mess with those. Same thing is going to happen with the 6800 and the 2 PIAs. They're just going to disintegrate when I try and take them out. So I'm not even going to piss with this board. It's just too far gone. We won't screw with that. This 35 here, this is a decent board. Ouch. This is a decent board here. This one, no acid damage to it or nothing. And this is the one that we will probably build for Star Trek. And I'll burn ROMs. Either burn them or buy them. This is the only problem with this one. Is somebody changed out a couple of the chips and they stripped the pads off when they were trying to remove those two. So I'll have to look at this a little bit more and see whether or not I want to screw with this up in here or not. This 35, this is a good board here too. This is another one, no acid damage. This is actually out of my Black Pyramid. I changed it out and put in a Weebly in my Black Pyramid. So this board is actually a good board. There's no hackage on it. Just the one chip that I changed. I put a socket in it. That one I did change. But this one, I think we can... That's probably the one we're going to build, is the one out of my Black Pyramid. You'll be seeing Black Pyramid again now. I'll be bringing it back over here. I got a few things to do with it, before it goes in the arcade. This is the lamp driver board I pulled out of that Star Trek. I got a couple resistors up here with some little growths on them, but we can change those out and we can salvage and use the original driver board. This is here's the Solenoid driver board. Damn, it came out of it. And you can see just all the growths that are on those resistors, and two of the little high voltage, I think those are high voltage diodes or whatever they are. They actually, when I washed the board, they fell off. So I was like, and our bottle cap's all rusty. I mean, don't get me wrong, this board can be rebuilt. I mean, if it come down to it, you could actually rebuild this board, but you know, you're going to need everything. All the ICs are all rusty, and you know, you try and move them around a little bit, they're going to fall right off, and you know, you can't have rust touching each pin, or you're going to have contacts. So, you know, it's just more work in this one than what it's worth. I have some really good ones, really nice ones that we can build and put in. So that's not a problem either. So I do have all the boards, or enough for the boards. In fact, there's a couple power supply driver boards there that everything's on it except the filter cap and the bottle cap. Our 5-volt regulator isn't on it, you know, so you know, we have decent boards to build, so that's all right too. that end of it, I'm not worried about electronics. You know, once I get the back box done, I'll put that up on the horses, and we'll get that all put together and actually get close to plugging it in. I'll probably have the Playfield out of it. This is the box of the crap I took out. Not the light bulbs. But all of our displays are in here. We'll go through them. Here's the brackets. I put an ad on one of the pinball forums, and somebody come up with all of the brackets for me. Because the brackets, that cord's bound and determined to kill me. Let's see, there's the brackets I took out of it. Just nasty, falling apart, and throw everything on the floor. And there's our transformer and our regulator. And as you can see, I think somebody was having a problem because they foiled every one of the fuses. Got foil on them. But it cleaned up, you know, so our transformer's good. The bracket is right here for it. It's a little rusty, but I did buy the new mounting bracket for it, so it'll be new. The big plate, I'll probably sand it and throw some paint on it, just so it, you know, looks decent up in the back box. It's a big project, but it's a Star Trek. But it's a Star Trek. Everybody's got to have a Star Trek. All right, so now we'll flip that Playfield over and take a look at the Playfield and see what we're going to have to do to it. Here's our Playfield. I'm sorry for the lighting. I'm kind of let's move over this side. There we go. Sorry for the lighting. I'm kind of jammed up in here. In fact, let me go see if I can get a light rigged up so we can actually look at this better. Okay, light bulb was broke in my light, so kind of bear with me. I'm kind of don't have much room. Yeah, you can see Sinbad, because I'm sure I've already posted everything on that before you start seeing this video. Okay, lots of paint missing. Little crispy down in here, but from what I'm seeing, this is the original color. There's Mylar around the slingshots. That color is the exact same color as Knight Rider. All three of them, or all four of them, our blue, our red, our orange, and our yellow are all the exact same color as Knight Rider. We have a couple of other ones. We'll have a green, which hopefully we don't have to do much here. We got a little bit of green missing around our 20 pop bumper caps. May even be able to save them. Damn. But our red, yep. Couple rollovers. Playfield up in here. Now it's not punky. Nope. Not punky, but it sure is discolored up in there. So that was white or cream. I can get that all painted. I'm not worried about that. That's nothing compared to other stuff that we have to do to this. You know, we have some red missing there. It's good. Got a little, you know, and some of this blue-green or seafoam or aqua or Hawaiian blue. It's supposed to be this nice blue. We'll see what it turns out like when we clean it. Got some green here. You know, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing is really no big deal to take care of. The blue, we've done that. The only thing I don't like is we have a whole something missing in here. And I'll have to get us a good picture of it so we can see what's actually missing. And the inserts don't feel that bad. Some of the little ones do. But, man, every one of these Star Treks I've seen have been, Playfields have been rough. This one and Lost World. I've seen both, both of them, every one of them I look at, the Playfield's missing a lot of paint. Must have been played an awful lot, Lost World and Star Trek. Either that or, they just weren't taken care of good enough to take care of the Playfield. Somebody, this went to a home or something, because I don't see an operator putting black rubbers on it and silicone flipper rubbers. Somebody else had this at home or something, and they were playing around with it. Our ball trail, it's got a really nasty ball trail that'll be fun to fix up. But no worries. Plastics, like I said, they're filthy. Might have to do a little work on a few of them to get them kind of straightened out, but I think they'll clean up. I mean, we got the original Star Trek, there was no Ferengi in it. Unless they're basing this, I don't know. And even, I think this is Ilea from the motion picture. She was in it, in Star Trek. Spock. But there was no Ferengi. And this dude, I'm not familiar with him, and I've watched a lot of Star Trek. I mean, Ilea, she was in the motion picture, not in the series. There's Spock. I'm not sure. Typical Bally with the well-endowed women. Same with her with the little points. And so this is kind of a mix. I watched Star Trek, the original series, when I was a kid. Watched it faithfully, and I don't know, they kind of threw in some from the motion picture, because Ilea, the motion picture, was the only one she was in, because if you remember, V'ger and the I can't think of his name, but the captain of the Enterprise that Admiral Kirk took over, and then that guy was the first officer. Anyway, those two were taken by V'ger, and Ferengi never really came in until Next Generation, and that sure looks like a Ferengi. Let's see if I can get away from that. Here we go. That fluorescent light. And like I said, this guy, I'm not familiar with him. He just may be a rendition of someone that, if I've seen a true picture of it, I'd know. So it's different. They kind of took pieces from different eras of Star Trek and incorporated it into the game. No, that's not a Klingon, because Klingons don't have claws. And here's Klingon. Klingon battle cruiser score. Excuse me. And those Klingon vessels are what the Klingon vessels looked like in the original Star Trek. And see on the side art, that's more of what they look like in Next Generation. Yeah, let's see. No, that's more still like the original Star Trek. In the space station, in the original, or in the Next Generation, the command bridge in that was round out on the front. It was, but like I said, that's original. Motion picture. Next Generation, no clue. And these two, what's on the tag? Tag is GG. No, that's not his son. In the motion picture, he was blonde. I don't know. So it's kind of a mixed bag of Next Generation and Star Trek, original Star Trek. Kind of neat, and kind of incorporated a lot of good things into this game. But we're definitely got our hands full. Like I said, the space station KO. I don't know. Different. But that's what we have to work with, and that's what we're going to be working with. Is we're going to get this put together the best we can and cleaned up and making it look as good as possible. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And I hope to see you on the next one. Until next time, see ya.